I'm Keith Sherry, and this is my marital interview about my parents. This is my mom, Mary Sherry.
Hi.
My dad, Ed Sherry.
How you doing?
My dog, Axel.
I really have 2 years. It is the other one.
So how long have you guys been married?
20 years.
How old were you when you met each other?
How old was I?
The both of you. Well,
I was-
you'll answer your part.
I mean, add it together.
And
No, not added together.
Oh, all right.
no, I was 33. 35. Your mother was 33.
33.
I was thinking of your age. I was trying to help you out.
Oh, thank you. And that's why we got married.
Describe your courtship.
We're up to that already?
Yeah.
We're past meeting?
No, I mean, like, you can describe how you met. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, your mother doesn't like that story, so we're not going to go there anyway.
So why would you bring it up?
Well, you want to hear the story that we tell people or really what happened?
Either
Yeah.
one. You don't give me both. Why not?
We met at a Catholic dance.
That doesn't sound true at all.
No,
They used to have them all the time.
No, that's not true. We met on Bell Boulevard. And we were both hanging out with our friends. I was with my girlfriend. He was with his friend. And we met the first night.
You guys really built up that story.
Wow. I got a kiss the first night. I picked her up and put her on the bar and kissed her in the bar.
All right.
She won't remember that.
Describe your courtship then.
I remember what you told me you did for a living.
Oh, do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Go over there and get my keychain there.
No.
Ooh, the drink.
Oh, no, it was my key. I still have the key.
No, you gave it to me.
Oh. She asked me what I did for a living. I said I work at New York Hospital in Manhattan, and I stopped. So now she doesn't know what I do for a living. So she's thinking maybe doctor. She goes, "What is it that you do for a living?" I said, "Oh." I said, "You can't laugh." And she goes, "I won't laugh." I said, "You see this key?" Yeah. I said, "You ever wonder who the guy is that opens up the lock and puts the new rolls the toilet paper in?" I said, "I do seven floors a day, 4 bathrooms a floor, and then I get to go home." I said, "Better go to college at night."
Love at first sight.
And she said, "What's your sign?" Hey, where'd you go? You're gonna lose 10 points.
I put the keys back.
She said, "What's your sign?" I said, "A Capricorn." She goes, "I didn't know Capricorns were funny."
I don't think you said that either.
No,
Yeah, she did.
I did.
Yeah. And it was Dewar's night, and your mother was drinking Dewar's, which
That I remember.
I couldn't believe. A girl was drinking scotch.
That was impressive.
I wasn't drinking scotch. I was drinking a beer. I wouldn't drink scotch to this day. Well, I do now.
That's good to know.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Really?
Why did you guys decide to get married?
Well, don't you want to ask about how we were dating?
Hey, didn't you?
I just
you-
did that.
No,
and
we're not
you,
married.
I just did that,
That was
and
how
you
we met.
sidetracked.
That was
That's
our
how we
first
met.
night.
All right,
That
so
was
then
our first night.
describe your relationship before you guys got married.
Oh, we didn't have one. Go ahead. What?
No,
we
the courtship was weird. Your mom worked nights. I worked days. She worked a lot of weekends. I was off weekends.
Every other weekend I worked.
She always worked one night per weekend. She worked, so it wasn't like your average your normal dating people would go to the movies during the week at night, and we could only see each other really like once or twice a week for a couple of years. It wasn't all that easy. It wasn't. She would work nights, and then she would work at night, and I'd be working days. So on Saturday, I'm ready to do something 7:00 in the morning. She just gets in at 7:00 in the morning. So we'd go out like Saturday night, and then maybe do something Sunday during the day.
And the weekends I worked, he went away with his friends.
Once in 3-4 times in the summertime.
Wait, but what were you doing?
I was a nurse working in a hospital.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I was an electrician. Working
I
in the
know that
office.
part.
Okay. And then I was going to college at night, so I couldn't see it 2 nights. Right, so I couldn't see it 2 nights during the week because I was going to school. Sunday during the day, I did my homework. And yes, when she worked, I was single guy one night a weekend. True.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, weekend.
What?
You went away with your friends when I
Oh,
worked.
3 times. I didn't have money to go away make it sound like every weekend. I didn't have that much money.
Every other weekend.
Can I ask why you guys got married
In the
now?
warm weather. What?
Can I ask why you guys got married now?
I surprised her. She
That's
said yes.
not
Oh,
the
no?
answer. I said, why did you want to get married?
It was never really discussed. I just asked her to marry me.
The question is
Oh,
asking
what's the
why did
question?
you want to marry her?
Oh, me? I was in
And
love.
why did you want to marry him?
She was beautiful. She is beautiful. And I wanted to have children, have family. That's what Mom used to say. We're going to have a family. I said, yes. I didn't know I was going to have 12 animals, but I knew I'd have a family.
Well, we never really talked about it.
No.
We never talked about it. We just dated and had fun and went out. And a girl, I always thought of when I was younger, always wanted to get married and have kids. And you think about that. You think about your wedding day and what you're going to wear and how many kids you're going to have. When you're young, you plan out your whole future. And the tricky part is finding the right person. And when I met Dad, it took us, we dated 3 years.
No, like 2 years, 10 months.
Oh,
It was under the
geez.
3 year mark.
Rounded off to 3 years.
No, under 3. That was a big thing. Under the 3.
And
Aunt Mary Ann was like, I didn't think you'd ever ask when we got engaged.
that's what happened.
Oh, I had no one to, I don't know.
We never talked about marriage. We just went out and had a good
Yeah, I don't
time.
know if you had, I don't know. Maybe I felt, I don't know why that wasn't, I guess I felt, I don't know how to introduce that kind of topic. I don't know.
Well, now you can describe your engagement.
We're up to that already?
Yes, we're up to that.
These questions move fast. Our engagement?
Mm-hmm.
We got engaged on a cruise ship. On the upper deck. I had the ring the whole trip. It was the last day of the cruise ship. And your mother asked me, who else knows? I said, nobody. I said, I think you should be the first to know. You didn't ask my father? No. I'm an Irishman. I didn't. I screwed that part up. So then she came home. She couldn't tell anybody.
Because we had to wait for him to ask Grandpa.
To ask
my
your
hand.
dad?
Yeah, from my
I
hand
wouldn't
to
ask
her.
my father.
I know, that's why I was confused.
But it was the last night. It was like 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Probably like one.
And I had no one to tell. So we had met a couple on the cruise that we were hanging out with. And I called them up. I said, guess what? They said, well, we just got engaged. They were so happy. And
And we saw
Never
some
saw
people.
him again.
No, we saw him again.
But I knew that he would take care of me because that's a big thing when you want to find somebody that you love and you want to spend the rest of your life with. Because we were on the cruise ship and I don't swim. And on the cruise, there was this rope. We went to an island. And
I
there
thought you
was
said
a
that's
rope.
why I killed you almost.
Oh, we'll try to one of the times. And there was a rope, and you jumped on the rope, and you would swing from the rope
Yeah,
and
rope
let
swing.
go
So rope
and go
swing.
into the water.
Okay.
And I said, no, I'm not doing it because I can't swim. And he goes, I'm lifeguard, I'll catch you. And I'm like, well, how deep is it? Don't worry about it, I'm standing up. He wasn't standing up. He goes, I'll catch you. I said, okay. And I trusted him. And then I realized that the water was very, very deep. I didn't realize it before. And I jumped in.
Did you know how deep it was, Dad?
It was
It
very,
has to be deep because you're
was like
falling off a
the-
boat. You can't hit the bottom. You end
was
up as a
the-
cripple.
How did you make it look like you were standing in the water?
Because the water was just calm, so I was just treading with my feet, so
Yeah.
she couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell. And then I jumped, and then he saved me.
I didn't save her. I watched the bubbles. She hit the water.
I
stood by-
want to think that he saved
No,
me.
I stood by, and I watched, and the bubbles hit, and she sank. And I watched the bubbles, and she popped back up like she would, and then I grabbed her.
And he
I
goes,
couldn't go down after her. It wasn't gonna make sense.
I guess now I have to ask her to marry me. She
No,
came
I
back
had to
up.
ring the whole way.
She came back up from the bubbles. I have to ask her.
I thought if I asked her the first day, she was going to be. You couldn't call people from the boat, so how were you going to plan anything out? So I thought it would ruin the trip on her. So I waited till the end. She thought I was making a decision, waiting the whole time to the end.
And how old were you guys when this all happened?
2 years and 10 months after we started dating.
That is not the correct answer.
Well, when we got married, I had just turned 38, and it was like a year and I was ready to get married like in September, but with the hall and everything, I think it took from May till February. So that means I was 37. It was like 9 months we were engaged.
I was 36.
No. You would have been 36.
I would have been. I would have been 36 in April.
Right. So she was 35.
So we got married February 2019.
February 27th.
February 1999.
And I bet Grandma off $20 that would be 50 degrees that day. 'Cause she was worried it'd be a snowstorm. And it hit 50 degrees on the button.
So what were you guys looking for in a spouse?
I don't know if you necessarily go out looking for a certain thing.
No, but like, obviously there's some qualities that you look for and some qualities that you try to avoid.
You do? Well, alcoholism, heroin use, yes, you avoid those things. Yes.
Okay.
No. Your mother, obviously, the physical attraction when you first meet somebody, that's the first thing. You don't notice, so you notice your mom right off the bat with her hair and everything. She noticed how I was sitting on a chair, she says. So she claims.
How are you sitting on the chair?
I don't know if I learned it from reading Cosmo. So it goes to show you Cosmopolitan magazine works, which you don't know what that means.
Nope.
But, no. But, your mother had a good job, so she was well educated. So that was good, because I like to think that I was smart, which I'm probably not, but whatever.
And I was always looking for a man who owned a key and was able to change the toilet paper roll.
There you have
In
it.
the hospital.
No matter where you are, he'd be able to. It's a universal king. It's a master king.
But your mother had a good sense of humor. She always played along with whatever I wanted to do. For Valentine's Day, I bought her a bowling ball one day, and she was willing to go bowling. Ice skates another time, she was willing to ice skate. Rollerblade, she would rollerblade. She might have hated it all, but she would go and do it.
I remember you got her a bike too.
Never owned a bike, and he bought me a bike when we were dating. So you want somebody who's going to listen to you, somebody who's there for you, somebody who's going to support you, someone who's going to bring you up when you're down, somebody who has your strengths that you don't have. That's what you're looking for.
So how does the reality of marriage compare to your expectations of what marriage would be?
Every day is a learning day. You learn more and more about each other. You never totally know a person. And marriage is a work in progress.
What was the question?
How does the
No,
reality
because
of
I'm
marriage...
trying to think. Because I thought that we'd be doing other questions first. Similarities, different. I didn't know we jumped to that one. We were already back to this
How do you
one.
know about the questions he was going to ask?
Oh, no, because I wrote a couple.
Oh, okay.
You wrote a couple?
Really? Because he was supposed to write them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How does the reality of marriage compare to your expectations of what marriage would be?
Well, when you have kids, you have to wear clothes once in a while.
I didn't like that.
No, I don't know. Your expectations, I don't know. I don't think I ever went in with expectations. I was kind of just, this is right, and just go do it, and it'll work itself out. I never thought there'd be any difficulties or anything like that. I didn't foresee bad things that would be a problem or whatever like that. I promised your grandmother that I could buy her daughter a house, and she used to say, "Where's my daughter's house?" I said, "All I said is I could do it. I didn't say I was doing it today."
So how do me and Luke, your children, affect your marriage?
Well, we're Uber mom and dad now.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're a cab service.
right. Which we don't get any tips for.
It cuts out. It changes the relationship between husband and wife, in the way you grow a lot, but you lose a lot of each other too in the same thing.
Because you're focusing on your children now instead of each other and your relationship.
You have homework.
So your relationship takes a back step for a little bit of time.
You have
you kind of meet on the
homework,
weekends.
illnesses. You have things that even with kids, there's a lot of things that happen with the kids. Those, I would have to say, reality and expectations have been very different.
But now that I'm going to college next year, that's going to be like half gone. It's
No,
going
it's
to be one
not.
kid.
No, it's not.
It's never gone.
How's it not going to be gone? You just said homework. Homework, I'm not going to be home. You just said illnesses. I'm not going to be home for illnesses.
We'll be worried about that, though.
But I'm not going to be here.
Doesn't matter.
Take
We'll
care
worry.
of it.
We'll be worried 10 times more than when you're under our roof. Your mother used to say it was easier when you guys were little, like 3, 4. We had control of you, and you knew what you were doing and stuff. Now that you're older, it changes the relationship so much. Hold on, pause it. I'll go without glasses now.
And we're back.
So
Oh,
with
there's my
children, We're up to the children.
Yeah,
We're still
still
on
on
kids.
children. Still
The
on
one thing
children.
about children is every day is different, and you always have to be prepared for change.
So, how important is money and marriage?
We're still on children.
Are you still on children? You still want to
Yes.
stick to children?
Yes, I
Okay.
still want
so
to.
what more do you have to say?
That is always would change. Like one day, your mother and I come home from work on a nice Friday and watching TV, settling until weekend, and our son thought he was a cheetah,
Oh,
and hits the coffee table and splits his chin open, and there was our weekend. 20
I wouldn't
stitches
say that's
later.
change. I would say that's surprises.
All I'm saying is those are expectations, things that go on.
You're stuck in the expectations question. That was the last question.
Well, that's too. No, but I mean, but those things change your marriage. Where you think you're going to have a weekend and stuff, and now it's all focused on that your sports, your relationships, and our relationship. You know,
Kind of have to take a back seat
takes a huge backseat.
because your kids are your priority.
Yeah, and you have to be able and to do that. I know you're going to do that. Sleepless nights. Luke's sleeping in his little chair on the floor because he had reflux and taking turns sleeping and whatever goes on.
Are we ready for the next question now?
Yeah, we'll come
Are
back to
you
this
ready
one.
for the next question now?
We can
How
come back to it.
important are money and marriage?
Well, I think money's very important, but there's money and there's money. There's, you know,
I think you have to explain.
No, when you have no money, like I don't have the money to fix the brakes on the car so I could drive to work, that can really affect the marriage. As long as you
And
have enough
wanna
money.
you want to give your kids more than what you had, so you want to be able to support their needs, or when you want to give them something, you want to be able to go and buy it and be able to afford it. You don't want to disappoint. Not that materialistic things are important, but like I said, you want to provide for your children more than what you had, and it just goes from generation to generation that way.
If you couldn't afford a house, that would be upsetting and it'd be stressful to the marriage. If we had to live in a 1-bedroom apartment with 2 kids, so not having money can affect a marriage. But as far as being the only key to happiness, no, because you can have, plenty of money and still have problems or issues. Go ahead.
Good.
I think does everybody know I have 2 years? Go ahead.
How important are the similar values like religion?
Very important.
Religion is the only similar value we have. And even on that end,
And what about like
I'm
culture
Irish.
and heritage?
I'm Irish. I don't run around on Palm Sunday giving palms to everybody. We never did that stuff.
So what about like cultural backgrounds? How important is the
There's
similarities
nothing
for that?
similar.
But like how important is it?
I don't know because we're still here. But
So
there's
is it
nothing
is
similar.
so you would say it's not important then?
I don't know. It's been a problem for Hub more than for me because we have no culture. The Irish don't have a culture.
Do you feel you don't think it's important that Dad's not Italian?
I don't feel it was important at the time. I don't feel it's important now.
So there you go. There's
Because we
the answer.
have similar interests. We were on the same path together, on our journey together. So that was important. And our culture, we bring into the marriage and we give to our children, but it doesn't define our marriage.
But like, for instance, I never celebrated Christmas Eve in my life. Mommy's family celebrated Christmas Eve. So we would just sit down on Christmas Eve. I'd be wrapping gifts. She goes, oh, we got to go out. These were differences,
There were a lot of big differences. One
Yes.
difference was when I first was invited over to your dad's house for dinner.
Thanksgiving.
He said, this is not going to be like a 7-course meal. I'm telling you right now,
Did
it's
you hear this?
strictly
No.
meat
Oh,
and
yeah.
potatoes. That's it.
And it's true.
In my house, when we had a celebration for a holiday, you started off with a pasta. You started off with antipasto. Then you started off with a pasta. Then you had your main course. Then you had 7 different vegetables. Then you had 2 types of potatoes. Then you had your salad. And then you had like 50 million desserts.
So then when you guys had your first Thanksgiving together, what was the meal?
we went to Dad's mom's house when we were dating.
Yeah.
He goes, this is strictly meat and potatoes. And that's exactly what it was.
And it was all cold, too.
Meat and potatoes. There was ham, asparagus.
Oh, Thanksgiving?
Oh, turkey
No, but
What was it?
no other thing. Like Mommy's family would make maybe a ham and a
and a
turkey.
turkey.
was just a turkey. There's no lasagna, no pasta dish.
So we're very food
Asparagus.
oriented. Italians are very food oriented. Apparently,
Asparagus
the
and
Irish
baked
are.
potatoes. Asparagus and baked potatoes.
Yeah, I think there was like 10 people at your house. How many people?
10. I guess it's that big. And,
And there was
unlike
only
most Italian,
5 pieces of asparagus.
yeah. And unlike most Irish families, we had no alcohol, so there's really nothing to celebrate.
No bread. It was sliced bread.
So then, going back to my question, when you guys had your first Thanksgiving together, what did you have? Did you make food, or did you just stick to the turkey and potato?
Well, when we had people here.
No, we made a big thing. We had turkey. We had different vegetables.
But I don't
we
think
had
you made a ham or anything. I think
No,
you had
we
turkey
just had
and the
one
vegetables.
meat. But we cooked big.
My mother would bring over, she would make my mother
Sweet
bring
potatoes.
sweet potatoes. My mother always, she wanted to make something. Then there was one time we had to go over for emergency because my mother cut like half of her finger off. So mommy had
I
to
think you
finish most of the
exaggerated
food.
that.
No,
No, she cut her finger
cut her
pretty
finger bad. But so mommy had to come over and bail out and finish the food. And even on Christmas, we went to Uncle Peter's house and he had like a ham and like aluminum foil that he cooked for. It says cooked 3 hours. He cooked it for half an hour.
One time for Christmas, we had Swedish meatballs and chicken cutlets.
Yes.
Yeah, that was our Christmas meal.
In the Italian family, everybody gets a gift. In the Irish family, it's like I'm not going to be there. You don't get a gift. That kind of thing. The culture part is very different. I remember on our first anniversary, was our first anniversary, as my family was concerned. Mommy's family all came over here and had the cake from the freezer with us and everything like that. We had no traditions like that, so there was a big difference.
What about educational values?
I think we're both on the same path with that one.
I think we're on the same path with
But like, is it important?
religion and that.
Is
What?
it important that people have the same educational values?
I think so.
Yeah. On that note, yeah.
For
'Cause
us,
you're
it
gonna
was.
battle.
For some people, it's not. But for us, it was.
Pauses.
What is that?
You should.
And lastly, how important
Is this the last question?
No, just like
Oh.
for the similarity values.
Oh,
Lastly, how important do you think age is when it comes to like being similar ages or an age gap? How important do you think that is?
age gap?
Mhm.
Well,
Like, do you think it's important for people to be closer in age?
I think it's important. I think it works better when you're closer in age. That's what some of the values are the same because you come from the same generation.
More similarities.
More similarities, but traditionally, once again,